Firstly, we need to go to the World Bank website and make some adjustment in the website. As for our group, our selected data is in the World Development Indicator database, and after that we need to change the country, which is for us is the 10 Asian country. And after that we need to find our selected data in the series, which is our data is export of goods and services and also foreign direct investment. The last part of adjustment is the time, which our group has decided to start it from year 2012 to year 2021. Our group download the data on export of goods and services and foreign direct investment separately to make our task easier. After the chosen data are downloaded, we will combining the both data in the one sheet of Microsoft Excel. The next task is to calculate the average export of goods and services and also calculate the average foreign direct investment. Both average export of goods and services and foreign direct investment will be separated between the CLMV countries and also the Asian 6 countries. To calculate the average exports of goods and services for the CLMV country and the Asian 6 countries, we use the average formula that exists in the Microsoft Excel. The important part is we need to ensure the reference column and row is precise to ensure that our calculation outcome is correct. The calculation of average foreign direct investment is same as the calculation of average export of goods and services. The difference is the reference row and column.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. My name is Azri, so I'm going to continue the presentation. So basically, this data that have been prepared by my pair is not suitable for transforming it into a graph. So therefore I'm going to adjust a little bit. So let's go.
Sorry for the dog, 在电脑はだしどの分よ grows 未来は放棄中に舞う脅威 Oh どの分よ grows 染みついたの Sorry for the dog, 在電腦
Right, so now we have prepared it to be transformed to the graph. Just copy this data. For the first data, it is average export of goods and services. Please take note that it is percentage of annual growth of exports of goods and services. As you can see, I just copy the CLMV and ASEAN 6, which is entitled for the y-axis. So I'm going to copy the x-axis indicator different, because if we copy all three at the same time, it will appear that three series. So the 2012 and until 2021 are going to be appeared in the graph as a line. So I'm doing it step by step. Okay, just change the chart title to the title that we have prepared, and then it is done for the first graph. For the second graph, just copy ASEAN 6, CLMV, the same step. Then after the graph appear, we change the x-axis from 1 to 3 until 10 to the year, which is 2012 until 2021. And then we change the chart title and put the data label. Please take note that we decrease this decimal place to 2 decimal place. Alright. So yeah, these are the two graphs that have been prepared and portrayed by us. Okay, now let's move on to the analysis. Alright, we're moving on to the analysis for the data. So for the first data, which is average export of goods and services, the indicator is annual percentage growth. As you can see, CLMV outperformed ASEAN 6 in terms of export of goods and services growth. So what is that? Because here at the data, you can see Cambodia and Myanmar indicate double-digit growth for almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years for Myanmar. For Cambodia, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 5, 6 years of growth, double-digit. So that is why CLMV outperformed ASEAN 6 in terms of exports of goods and services. So we can see that CLMV growth is higher than ASEAN 6 if we average it. Alright, but we can see some interesting point here. During 2021, after the COVID, ASEAN 6 outperformed or bouncing back higher than CLMV after the COVID, which is 12.23% as compared to 3.10%. So moving on to the second data, which is average FDI, net inflow of percentage of GDP. Okay, so for CLMV, again, outperform ASEAN 6 most of the years. Only 2 years, ASEAN 6 outperform CLMV. How is that? Because we can see Cambodia drag the CLMV value data to be higher than ASEAN 6. But Singapore value cannot maintain its high value because of there is more country in ASEAN 6 as compared to CLMV. So these 5 countries will drag the figure that portrayed by Singapore if we average it. So that is why ASEAN 6 indicate lower percentage of GDP in terms of net FDI as compared to CLMV. So that's all from me. And in conclusion, I think these two data cannot be portrayed to indicate that CLMV perform lower than ASEAN 6. the factor of averaging this into two groups also will affect the overall data. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.